With the state of the country's reefs being gravely threatened, it is but right that something be done to help alleviate the situation. Some proactive efforts have been directed towards what has been known as coral gardening, which is a kind of active reef restoration that has gained popularity among advocates and enthusiasts. But no, it isn't just like planting a tree like you would think. The process of coral gardening begins with a collection of coral fragments, or pieces of corals that have been broken off naturally, then growing them in nurseries, which are protected underwater areas where the corals can acclimate to the water conditions, and finally, transplanting these fragments into a damaged reef to restore the coral cover. Sounds like a good solution, doesn't it? Because at first glance, it seems like a simple activity. People try it, support it, or promote it as a quick and easy way that one can help in rescuing the country's reefs. But this is not actually the case. To garden corals is a complex and very costly process with many factors, which, in most cases in the country, people fail to consider. For starters, for one to be able to do this, they need to have an abundance of coral fragments. But because of the shortage of resources, some people end up breaking off fragments forcefully from healthy corals without even securing the proper permits in the first place. And how about the reef's diversity? Most coral fragments used for gardening come from only a branching coral species with fragments that break off easily. The other hundreds upon hundreds of species are left out. Water is another major issue. Most gardening attempts remain unsuccessful as they fail to get the necessary water conditions needed for coral survival, because these factors are mostly out of our control. The coral's survival is also often overlooked. Even if you manage to plant a large amount of corals, it's not actually a success if these corals don't survive in the long term. The efforts, money, and other resources poured into it would have gone to waste. So when you think about it, coral gardening does not actually address what damaged the reefs in the first place. If the damaging impacts and stressors that killed the corals are not first addressed, the newly planted corals will only be damaged again, and any effort gone into gardening will have been fruitless. A good move would be putting rescue efforts and available resources instead into making sure that the healthy reefs are properly protected and eliminating the human disturbances that damage them. But beyond that, remember, these reefs are structures built by corals for over thousands of years, and they've provided us with food, livelihood, and protection. They've given us a lot, and now what they really need is time to heal. The road to reef recovery must start with taking action and realizing our responsibility to help in even the smallest ways we can.